Hey, Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Scott Moore, Grace College Lancers. Welcome
Billy?
to,
Welcome to Kansas City,
I
baby.
don't know what draw, oh, it's not my microphone. Welcome to Kansas City.
It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. 3 years now. It gets a little sweeter each time. Every time you never get used to it. So now it's been fun. It's been an awesome year. I can't believe, honestly, it's been so fast. We sat there in Oregon that seemed like 2 weeks ago, and I was just telling Elijah in the bus coming back from dinner tonight. It's like, man, didn't it feel like just a couple weeks ago we were here, and now we're here again? And so, no, it's awesome to be back. The weather was great today, and I think the 16 teams that are here are so good. Great coaches, great players, and it's going to be a fun week of basketball.
I saw you tweeted out something. You said it's been an amazing year, and it's going to end soon, right? And so you're down to that point. Here's my question, really. You've invested a lot this year, or not this year, but you've invested a lot. You've built this team. This team has met and exceeded probably your wildest expectations up to this point. But now it's time to cash the check. So talk to me about your mindset coming into this 16 team tournament and the team where their team's at. Talk about your mindset first.
Well, it's always a little different as you get into this. Every year you realize how much you don't know, and you think and hopefully I'm a better coach now than I was, last year and the year before and the year before. But the mindset's changed a little bit, and I've done a better job of just being in the moment, and I've enjoyed. I said myself going into the season, I know the type of players we have, and I know the team we have, and this is a team that's kind of been with me for a long time here growing up, and so I don't want to take that for granted. And I know that Elijah Malone and Jake Wadding and Cole Beck are going to be gone here at the end of this week, and they're going to be done. And so it's been good for me to slow things down and just really enjoy the day to day. And really, what it's done too is you talk about now, trying to finish this thing. It's like, look, we're one of 16 teams that could. Will we? I don't know. There's a lot of good teams here, and we're going to have to play really well to do that. But regardless of what happens, I think I spend more time just worrying about Grace than I do, anyone else. You scout and you prepare and you do all those things, but the focus has truly been on those 15 guys and those 4 coaches and just kind of this circle. And we go out there and we say, hey, if we play well, we feel like we got a good chance, and anybody can beat you. Yep. So you do what you can take care of and look up, and hopefully the scoreboard will essentially take care of itself.
You mentioned just a second ago being able to live in the moment. One of the things that allows you to do that is surrounding yourself with great assistants. One thing that has really struck me today as teams come through and I talk to people, realize all these teams coming in here have one thing in common. They have amazing assistants. But Steven and Jordan Widener, and now Charlie Warner added to the staff. I mean, those guys really take a load off you, don't they?
Yeah, just loyal. You want loyal guys. I think regardless of what they know basketball, any coach just here can tell you, you want guys that are in your corner. And you don't want necessarily guys that are going to tell you and agree with everything you say. You want guys that will challenge you and make you better. But you also want guys that just are always going to be there for you and have your back. And that's one thing that my guys are just tremendous at is, I would never throw them under the bus, and I would never put them in a position where I'm demeaning to them or they're demeaning to me. And we don't always agree on stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day, our foundation, our goals are the same. And if those can remain, then there's different ways to get there. And I've just been really lucky. Like I realize this job is nearly impossible to do by yourself. And we would not be as good as we are and have the program that we do without those guys. I have my strengths, but I have my weaknesses as well. And those guys do such a good job of just covering those up. I think about last year, I was sick there for a couple weeks.
I remember that,
so sick where I couldn't even make to the semifinal of the Indiana Wesleyan game. And that's what you want, is you want to see your program where this team goes into Indiana Wesleyan on the road and plays well and wins and advances to the Crossroads tournament finals.
Right.
And their head coach isn't even there. And so I've humbled myself very, very quickly to say, you know what, it's not just about me. It's not about one guy. It's about this whole thing. And I've been so fortunate the last couple of years with all those guys.
Scott, you said something that caught my attention. You talked about diversity of opinions, right? Where in my corporate life, I had a saying. I said, if we always agree, one of us is unnecessary,
Yeah,
right? You've got to have that. You've got to have people that are going to challenge you, right, and bring something to the table. And then at the end of the day, obviously, it's your decision. But you need people around you, like you say, loyal, but who are going to challenge you.
I give those guys, I do. I lean on those guys a lot, and that's where the loyalty and trust comes from. With, I know all those guys. Charlie, obviously, and Steven played for me when I was with Coach Kessler. And then Jordan was in the league, and I've known him for so long, right? I may not have liked him when I knew him early, but those guys where, there's such a trust there. And I think these guys, these other coaches could tell you that, I need them to be in their honest opinion, but also as the head guy, like that's my job is I need to make the final decision and go with it and trust that those guys at the end of the day are going to back that up. And they do, whatever I come across. And very rarely am I going one direction and those guys going another. It's very rare that happens. So I'm fortunate enough with that we're often on the same page. And I always tell them, if not, we're usually 3 out of 4, and the one who's the left one out, they're usually the one that gets to the back and they don't get their way. So most of the time that's me, but it's been good, man. They're great to have.
I've been lucky enough to see you guys play several times over the last few years. One common thing is every time I've seen you play, your mom and dad are somewhere real close by, and your brother Marcus is always close by. Talk about your family, what it means to have them close and to share all this with you. And of course, Matt has great success over at Warsaw as well.
It's why I do it. People always think I'm crazy for saying this. I don't love basketball. I like basketball a lot, and we were really good at it. And we were Indiana high school guys, and it's just that's what you did in Indiana. But I love what basketball is able to bring and what the job entails, right? I get to work with all these 18 to 22-year-old young men trying to figure life out. And then you look in the crowd and you see all my family and all my friends and all the support that you have that are just they're along the ride with you. And it's so funny. I have to remind myself every 5 minutes, I got to look back and tell my twin brother to shut up because he's about to get kicked out in the third row. And here I am. I don't say much of anything during the course of a game, and he's just screaming at refs. And but it's awesome. It's we all live in the same town. We're all within about 3 miles of each other in Warsaw there, and it makes it not feel like a job. It makes it feel like, hey, this is part of life, and I've got all my family and all my friends around, and they get to go on the journey with me. My 3-year-old's coming for this week. They'll be here tomorrow.
Awesome.
So just to have him, up in the crowd and, not having a clue what's going on, but it's just special. It's cool.
Well, there's another side to it, because I can tell you guys, one night Grace had 20 turnovers, and I sent Scott a note. I said, those turnovers kill you. And he says, my wife, my dad, my mother, my brother. You got a lot of coaches in the family, don't you?
I promise you that there's a lot of humbleness that comes through in the Moore family, because I get told every night what I do wrong. And I always remind him, I was like, Mark, we just won by 40 tonight. And trust me, he's like, look, I don't care. Here's where you stink. And sometimes it makes me figure out, should I even be doing this? Because apparently I don't do it very well because I got all these opinions going on. But no, it's good, man. They're incredible. Not every coach has that opportunity. I was just talking to, this transfer portal season, right? It's crazy.
Yeah,
not only that, it's coaching carousel. And a good friend of mine, I won't name him, but he's down at a prominent Division I, and he's got a couple phone calls to take over a head job, and one of the things he asked me is just about my situation. And I said, my favorite thing is my family. I'm with my family, and I don't know if I could be doing this just anywhere. I think I'd try to just do something else where I'm at. And that was a big part of him is, he's 5 states away from where he grew up, and an opportunity came that he could come back to his family. And I just told him, I was like, look, man, it's everything. It's at least it is for us. So yeah, it's pretty special.
Well, you not only your family, but you have a beautiful campus there. It's a great situation. You're right by the lake. It's just, it seems like just, it can't be feel like you said, it can't feel like working.
It surely doesn't. And administration has a big part to do with that as well. You gotta enjoy who you work for. And
Yeah.
I've got a young president, a new president, going on. Just a couple of years here now that he's been in charge, and my AD, he's as good as it gets, Coach Briscoe.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, it does. It takes a lot of people that do a lot of behind the scenes stuff to make it what it is. And yeah, you take a look around, and man, there's not a whole lot of jobs or opportunities better than what I got. And so, and I know that, and I count my blessings, and very fortunate to be in the position that I am, and especially following a guy like Jim Kessler.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit of basketball. You got in the first round, Washington Adventists came up, a 16 seed Continental League team. Man, they gave you everything you could handle.
Yeah.
They came ready to play.
Yep. We're a little tight. We tried to, I told the guys at halftime, you do realize, like, you got to shoot the ball above 10 feet, and it's got to go like through that circle. Like, you can't jam it in there. And they were tight, but again, it's tournament, it's March, right?
That's the thing, yeah.
And they'd won a lot of games, and they had won a lot of games by a lot of points. And, sometimes you forget they're not machines. They're kids. They are kids, and they have emotions and feelings too. And we tried really hard just to say, hey, just take a deep breath. You're going to be fine. Just go back to everything you've worked on and just focus on little things that will get you the result. And, we had a nice run there in the second half. Ended up winning by 20, but it sure didn't feel like it, honestly. And then you could see the change in the next day. They got that out of the way, and we came in and played a really good Union team who just knocked off, had a great game against. We talked about it's going to be an awesome game as a spectator. I got to watch the whole game with Coach Keeley in Ottawa, and man, what a fantastic game back and forth. But you could tell Saturday that the feeling, the mindset was different, and it was a buzzsaw. Like, there was not a whole lot of coaching on my side. They came out ready. We hit some shots early. Defensively, we were locked in, and we made a really, really good basketball team not play very well because Union, man, it's a pretty prideful program. And,
very athletic.
Yeah, and they do a great job. So just to play like that, you always want to be playing your best basketball. And I told my assistants afterwards, hey, I think, right there's our best basketball. We're playing at the right time.
Scott, I have this is probably a dumb theory, tell me if it is, but I think here the playing field levels, because all during the season, everybody's coming at you with amazing energy, right? Well, these 16 teams are all coming in with equal energy now. You're not the one team with the target. Everybody's got a target on their back at this point.
Yeah, and it's, me, like, again, someone asked me, we have a great video guy, right? He puts up those videos, and I don't even know how
He saved a lot of video too.
He saved a lot of video. I don't even know how to do a PowerPoint. People ask me, like, hey, how do you do your videos? Like, trust me, I keep telling Nico, so you keep me out of them, because if you know me, it's not my style of approach. And I just laugh because you're sitting here going, we've been talked about a lot, and obviously having the number one beside your name all season. But, like, let's not forget College of Idaho is here, and they're the national champs, and they're back. And so our guys know that, like Langston, 32-1.
Yeah.
They've got as good as players anyone in the country.
Yep. Freed Hardman.
We played last year. Just, again, had all their players come back, and Coach Stutz has done a good job. Indiana Wesleyan's here. Oh, yeah, they have 3 banners, right? Like, Evangel's got a 15 beside their name, and no one cares because they're really, really good and really well coached. And
They're playing really well right now.
Oh yeah, here's Oklahoma Wesleyan,
yeah,
and here's LC State, and it's just, yeah, you get to this point where, trust me, everyone outside has opinions, but there's not a coach sitting in their room right now that doesn't think that they're going to win this thing. That's the way it should be. Seeds, you can throw them out the window. It doesn't matter. Matchups are everything. And, we play Northwestern. Like, the story is cool. Coach Corver, I told someone the other day, I go, there may not be a better human being in college basketball than Chris Corver. Cool story. He was a part of that Northwestern team that Grace had beat in the '92 national championship when Jim Kessler was a coach.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Obviously now being the coach at Northwestern for so many years and so much success, and there's so much respect that not only I have as a basketball coach, but just a man of faith and, getting into this profession. And, those are guys who I look up to. He's been doing it the right way for so long, and they're playing so well, and it's a GPAC team, so they can outscore anybody, right?
Yeah, they're really good.
Really good.
Van Calsbeek and Stirk and LePage.
Yeah,
they got one. Oh, anyway, I'm going to leave somebody out, but yeah, they're very strong.
So you take a look at these matchups. All 16 teams, all 8 of these games are such great matchups.
Dylan Carlson, that's
Dylan Carlson's great. Like, you look at Oklahoma Wesleyan's matchup, right? Like Central Baptist, like, they've been good all year. They've been good all year. They didn't come out of nowhere. ACU and Indiana Wesleyan is going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, you think?
So it's big time basketball. It's pros everywhere. Every year I get here, you get out of that court and you just take a look and you go, my goodness, these guys, like, I don't know if they didn't look like this when I was playing.
Yeah. Well, there's a testament to that is Riley Minix was the Ohio Valley Player of the Year this year.
Incredible. Yeah. And you knew that from the beginning, right? You watch him play, you go, yeah, this kid, he's different. And a lot of people say that about Elijah.
Exactly.
You look at Malone and you go, yeah, he's different. But I think what you see and what's been so cool about your platform and NAIA Hoops Report and some of these other platforms that we're seeing with small college basketball is, look, NAIA basketball is as good as it's ever been. And now with the opportunities that we are being provided, people are finally starting to see the talent level, not only in the players, but the coaching. And, I just saw today, Dakota Wesleyan, right? He's taking a WNBA job as an assistant. Yeah. He's a great coach. Wilbur's been a great coach for so long. And next thing you know, he's in the pros. And that's it's flooded with guys, with great teachers of the game, with great players. And, man, if you're around this area, if you want to see, there'll be some agents in the crowd. There'll be some Division I college coaches coming to this tournament
because that transfer portal.
They're taking a look at that 5th year, and trust me, I've got enough calls. They're taking a look at, hey, that Malone kid, he's got a 5th year, right? Where's he going? And you could say that about a lot of these guys.
A lot of these guys, yep. Well, Scott, I appreciate you taking a few minutes. When do you guys play?
5 o'clock Thursday.
5 o'clock first game. Yeah.
Yep, the third game.
You get nervous, or are you just going for the ride?
Well, we were in the airport way too early right now, so I'm too old. It's past my bedtime, so I don't have any nerves right now. It's more bedtime, but I get nervous before the days leading up. Truth, because I put a lot of emphasis on in days leading up, what do I got to do to help give my team the best chance? On game day, when we get out there, I feel confident and I get out of the way. And I get it. I want to win. Trust me, I'm competitive to everyone. But a lot of these guys, I told them, you win the right way, you lose the right way, you play the right way. If you don't win this whole thing, that's okay. If you do win this whole thing, again, that's okay. It doesn't change what you've done for an entire community and for a lot of people's lives this season. It's been pretty special, and we're going to hold on to that as long as we can. At some point, they'll look back and they'll go, wow, that was a big deal.
Well, my old man advice to you is enjoy every second. There are very few men who get an opportunity to do what you guys are doing here.
Yep.
So
Amen.
enjoy every second.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you taking the time.